this day in history, the South Carolina General Assembly ratified the South Carolina Education Lottery Act in 2001. This created the SC Education Lottery Commission with funds education programs. On November 7th, 2000, the state's voters approved a referendum in support of the implementation of a state-run lottery. After being ratified, the governor signed the act into law, and the first lottery tickets were sold on January 7th, 2002. There are several games prize payouts part of the lottery, including scratch-offs, cash pop, Pick 3, Palmetto Cash 3, Pick 4, Power Play, Powerball, and Mega Millions.